Hi guys, my name is Alex. I wanted to show you my hobby project, which is a Unity FPS survival game called Siberian Struggle. I guess this is a first dev diary of some sorts where I can show you my work so far. The game is, like I said, an FPS survival where you have to gather resources like firewood to get warm and food to eat. Of course, the only food source right now are berries, but please see the game as, or most of the assets like these Unity meshes like just placeholder items. I just want to get the systems set up, the game mechanics, so to say, before I implement some better graphics. So for example, here, the first thing you have to do is ignite the fire and get a bit warmer by the fireplace, because warmth is a critical thing in this game and outside is very cold, so you have to gather firewood and get warm by the fire. You see in the top left part of the screen a debug HUD which shows some critical information regarding the player, for example health, which is quite obvious. If it drops to 0 you die and the game is over. Then you have warmth, which you get by standing by the fire and not going outside in the night like right now, but I wanted to show you that in the night you get cold quite fast, as in real life. Let's go back to the house. You of course can jump, sprint, crouch, the usual FPS functions are already implemented. Then we can again put some firewood in the fireplace and get a bit warmer. We have a stamina system, of course, like for the actions that I just described. So for example, for sprinting or for jumping or for swinging the axe, you get to spend a little bit of that stamina. And to simulate tiring during the day, the maximal stamina will continuously drop in time, so you'll have to sleep to get back to the maximal stamina, as you see. Then you have hunger, and I already told you there is only one source of food available in this build. It's berries, which give you 2% of hunger, or less hunger I guess I should say. So they're not that much of an optimal food source, but they're not supposed to be. In the future I plan to add NPCs like animals, for example, I don't know, deer or bunnies that you can hunt for meat, which should be a much better food source, but that has to be implemented in the future. That's on my to-do list. Maybe for the next dev diary we'll have some animals, that would be cool. Then you have an inventory system. You open it with tab or I, where you can store your items. There is a weight system, so you see here this tooltips. It shows for the X it's 5 kilogram, and for the berries it's 141, but we have 5, so it's a half a kilo. The max is 40, but you can overload yourself and be a bit slower and accept that debuff, I guess, if you have too much to carry. Right now in the game there is not so much to carry anyways, so yeah, that's not a problem, but I think that's a future-proof system to have in the game. So yeah, that's the basic functionality. You also see like the heat balance here in the debug HUD, how much fuel there is left, your position and speed, current speed. There are some development functions, like you can with F3 turn just off this HUD, because the game is supposed to actually not tell you all those values directly, of course, but as we are here in a very very initial state of the project, I guess that's very helpful. Then you can change the speed, for example. Oh, that is not supposed to, as you see, this is a very initial good. You're supposed to, that is probably some bug regarding the jumping. I'll have to investigate that. That is a great idea. Look, it's good to make such dev diaries to see or to spot bugs that you wouldn't probably in normal testing, I guess, because you do some things that you don't normally do while testing. And back to the topic, you can of course speed up the time. As you see, the day is progressing quite fast and we are taking damage right now, and we'll die of both being frozen to death and starving to death. And we can of course retry the game. Right now the goal of the game is just to survive as long as possible. Purely from the mechanical standpoint, the trees don't grow back, so firewood will be the thing that will limit you in the current survival. I think I haven't actually tried it out, but I suppose with those many trees you'll be able to survive like at least 10 days, I guess. The berries, they grow back quite slowly, as they're supposed to, so it might be that hunger will also be an issue in the later stages of the game. But as I see the balancing, or as you see, the balancing is of course not final yet, and there will be also a thing that I'll be working quite hard on that. So for the game, there are two also other functions of the debug HUD. You can refill your values instantly with F8, that helps for testing, or if you're about to die and don't want to, and you can activate with F9 the God mode, so you cannot die here as well, and you don't get cold or hungry, so you can just run and test the game as without those problems. Yeah, so that's how it looks currently. I'll be implementing probably the NPC system next. I think I maybe said that I'm inspired by the game The Long Dark, which is set in a Canadian wilderness after a geomagnetic disaster. This is in Siberia, and I have some ideas to change some of the systems, and I have also idea for a great, or I think for a good backstory for this game, which I maybe tell you in another video about. So thank you very much for joining me here in this look on my hobby project game, Siberian Struggle. You can of course join me on Discord. You can comment here on Discord. You can of course talk with me about the game if you'd like to. I'll be there sometimes. There is also an X and Twitter account where I'll be posting updates, like for example this Dev Diary. Sorry, I'll be posting there. Of course, you can follow me here and subscribe to see new Dev Diaries or some other content regarding this game on this channel. Thanks again. You're great, and ciao guys. See you in the next video.